Battle Through the Heavens, Season 5, Episode 120. I didn't expect that Xiao Yan's popularity with women, even after coming to Zhongzhou, would still shine so brightly. Even Cao Ying, despite being a demonic woman, wants to bring him under her spell. Previously, during the Pill Tower's 5 Great Families examination, Xiao Yan repeatedly broke the record set by Cao Ying, provoking her competitive spirit. She made an agreement with him. If he could withstand her 3 soul palm prints, he would be the final victor. Basing this never-before-seen soul skill technique, Xiao Yan appeared quite disheveled during the first 2 palms. Fortunately, he managed to withstand them. However, just as Cao Ying was about to unleash the 3rd palm, she was shocked to discover that Xiao Yan was slowly mirroring her movements. His slightly clumsy hand movements were exactly the same as hers. The condensation of the palm print in Xiao Yan's hand was slightly more illusory than hers, but this was enough to shock Cao Ying. She never dreamed that Xiao Yan, in the midst of battle, could memorize her technique. When Cao Ying first encountered this soul imprint, it took her a long time to gradually comprehend it. But Xiao Yan was able to perform it after only seeing it twice. This left Cao Ying, often hailed as a demonic genius, feeling rather embarrassed. The palm print, carrying a soul storm, erupted from her palm. At the same time, with a loud shout, Xiao Yan also thrust out the strange hand seal. A low explosion resounded within the hall. The invisible soul ripples caused many present to feel a stinging pain in their souls. The raging soul storm, after lasting for nearly a minute, finally gradually subsided. Where Xiao Yan was sitting, there were several bottomless craters. Even his clothes were tattered. Cao Ying, opposite him, was completely unharmed. Although Xiao Yan was slightly inferior in this exchange, he still managed to withstand all 3 of her palms and wasn't knocked out of the red circle. According to the rules, this duel was considered a victory for Xiao Yan. 3 palms are done. You win. As Cao Ying finished speaking, the hall suddenly became quiet. After a moment, bursts of amazement finally erupted. Cao Ying's reputation in the Pill region was simply too great. This was the first time they had seen her admit defeat to someone of the same generation. Yizhong and Xinlan, in the Ye family's seats, were also filled with excitement because of Xiao Yan's performance. In this examination, Xiao Yan had given a perfect answer, one that even they couldn't believe. This kind of result was probably only achievable by Ye Jia at his peak. Looking at the 2 excited faces, Xiao Yixian and Venerable Tianhuo exchanged smiles. Xiao Yixian's beautiful eyes turned to the extraordinary figure in the arena. From beginning to end, he had never disappointed. No matter who the opponent, he never lost confidence. But only Xiao Yan knew that this time, it was just luck. He could feel that Cao Ying hadn't truly used her full strength. Miss Cao Ying, you've been lenient. If there were another palm, I might not have been able to withstand it. You're trying to steal all of my soul handprints, aren't you? Hearing Cao Ying's blunt words, Xiao Yan couldn't help but feel embarrassed. This soul handprint isn't difficult to learn. It's probably not considered a high-level soul skill. But for someone like me who has never cultivated soul skills, it's undoubtedly a treasure. Seeing Xiao Yan's embarrassed look, Cao Ying smiled. Mr. Xiao Yan, if you have time, perhaps we could have a private exchange sometime. I also know some soul techniques. It just depends if you have the ability. And learn them all. Xiao Yan didn't take Cao Ying's words seriously. He guessed that she was likely unhappy with the outcome of the duel and was looking for a chance to get even. If there's a chance, I'll definitely chat with Miss Cao Ying. Seeing this ambiguous answer, Cao Ying understood that Xiao Yan wouldn't, like other men, easily fall under her charm. But isn't it more challenging this way? Her beautiful eyes looked deeply at Xiao Yan. The pill gathering is about to begin. I hope to see you there. I know you were also holding back earlier. With that, she turned and walked towards the exit of the hall. Watching the languid and proud figure, Xiao Yan let out a breath. It seems this woman is no pushover. Although he had luckily won this exchange, Xiao Yan understood that for Cao Ying, it was just a warm-up. With this, the 5 Great Families examination concluded with Xiao Yan as the champion. Correspondingly, the Ye family retained their position as Pill Tower elders. After the meeting, Dan Xuan from the Dan family approached and greeted Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan had a favorable impression of her. As they talked, Xiao Yan's gaze shifted towards the young girl behind Dan Xuan. She was curiously staring at him. Seeing Xiao Yan's gaze, she quickly ducked her head back, hiding behind Dan Xuan. This is my cousin, Dan Chen. She's always been shy around strangers." Xiao Yan smiled and shook his head. He had interacted with this girl before and knew some of her quirks. Clearly, this girl was also someone who hid her true abilities. However, what surprised him was that he couldn't sense any soul fluctuations from her. After a brief chat, Dan Zhuan excused herself and left. However, just as Xiao Yan and the others were about to leave, they were stopped by Sheng Yao, one of the examiners. This person had once received some guidance from Yao Chen. His purpose was to invite Xiao Yan to meet the Pill Tower Guild Master. The pill gathering was approaching, and it was said that the Hall of Souls would also be sending participants. Therefore, they needed to find as many capable and trustworthy people as possible to compete with them for the 3,000 burning flames. Moreover, according to Sheng Yao, the soul techniques Cao Ying cultivated were also learned from the Pill Tower. After pondering for a moment, Xiao Yan finally nodded slowly. He was also very interested in those soul techniques. Given the Pill Tower's power and status, if they wanted to harm him, they wouldn't need to resort to any tricks. "All right then, it's settled. I'll personally come to the Ye residence to pick you up today." After exchanging pleasantries with Elder Sheng, Ye Zhang returned to the Ye residence with Xiao Yan and the others. While the outside world was buzzing over Xiao Yan's victory, Xiao Yan remained secluded within the Ye residence, quietly practicing the soul handprints he had learned from Cao Ying. However, just as he was getting into it, a sense of unease suddenly spread through his heart. He turned his head and stared at a point in the courtyard, saying calmly, "Since you're here, why hide?" As expected of that old geezer Yao Chen's disciple, "Your perception is quite good." As the voice fell, a dark figure slowly emerged from the distorted space. "People from the Hall of Souls." "Ha ha ha, I heard that old geezer Yao Chen's bone-chilling soul is within you, so I'd like to borrow it." With that, a dark blue flame suddenly rose from his body. Seeing this, Xiao Yan's pupils constricted. Bone spirit cold fire. While in the pill region, Xiao Yan had his fallen heart flame targeted by a Hall of Souls elder. Unexpectedly, this person possessed Han Feng's sea heart flame. Fortunately, at the critical moment, Xiao Yixin's nemesis, Xuan Kongzi, made a heroic entrance. Previously, after helping the Yi family win the Pill Region 5 Great Families examination, Xiao Yan went to a secluded courtyard within the Ye residence and began diligently practicing the soul handprints he had learned from Cao Ying. Unexpectedly, a black-robed figure from the Hall of Souls suddenly emerged from the void. When Xiao Yan saw the dark blue flame emanating from the figure, his pupils constricted. He had seen this flame before, on Han Feng. It was the Sea Heart Flame, ranked 15th on the Heavenly Flame ranking. According to Han Feng, after he was captured by the Hall of Souls, his life was spared in exchange for the Sea Heart Flame, which was then offered to an elder of the Hall of Souls. And now, this person who suddenly appeared was also from the Hall of Souls. Clearly, this flame must be the Sea Heart Flame that Han Feng had lost. Han Feng's Sea Heart Flame? Good eye. I know you possess more than one heavenly flame. I came here today not to capture you for the Hall of Souls. My ultimate goal is the cultivation technique you practice, the one that allows you to fuse heavenly flames together. Hearing this, Xiao Yan felt an uncontrollable surge of killing intent. He owed his current achievements to the Burning Sky technique. His dou qi surged, and he instantly went on high alert. After all, for someone to appear here so silently, their strength must be terrifying. Moreover, according to the black-robed figure, he had already set up a soul barrier. This meant that Venerable Tianwo and Xiao Yixian wouldn't be able to detect anything for a while. This is Holy Pill City. The Hall of Souls' reach is truly extensive. I was the first one to obtain that cultivation technique. However, that old geezer Yao Chen used underhanded methods to steal it from me. Now, I'm simply here to reclaim what rightfully belongs to me. Hand over the cultivation technique, and I'll spare your life tonight." Xiao Yan's eyes narrowed. He knew that Yao Chen had obtained the Burning Sky technique from a ruined ancient relic. It was said that countless experts were drawn to that relic. Although he hadn't witnessed it himself, he could guess that a fierce battle must have erupted over the contents of the relic. He couldn't just hand over the burning sky technique so easily. He just couldn't do that. He threw a punch at the barrier. Watching the rapidly spreading ripples, Xiao Yan's expression grew increasingly grim. He hadn't expected this mysterious black-robed figure to be so strong. He estimated that this person's strength was at least at the level of a 3-star or even 4-star dozun. Seeing Xiao Yan's actions, the black-robed figure's voice turned cold. "Do you think you're my match? I don't have much time. If you don't hand it over, don't blame me for killing you." He walked towards Xiao Yan, his feet treading on air. This was Holy Pill City, so he couldn't be too ostentatious. Otherwise, if he was discovered by the Pill Tower, it would be troublesome. Watching the approaching black-robed figure, Xiao Yan's expression turned icy. Although the opponent was strong, he, the third prince of the Wu-Tang Empire, wasn't a soft persimmon to be squeezed at will. If he wanted to force Xiao Yan, he would have to pay a heavy price. With a flick of his finger, he summoned the glazed lotus heart flame, which separated into 3 faint, formless flames. Then, wiping away the blackness on his finger, a pale, eerie, bone-chilling soul fire appeared. Seeing the 3 heavenly flames before Xiao Yan, the black-robed figure was slightly startled. "Ha ha! 3 heavenly flames. Not bad. Not bad. The rumors were true. It seems my harvest will be bountiful." Xiao Yan ignored his gloating. Taking a deep breath, a grayish-white fallen heart flame slowly emerged from his throat. Then, under the black-robed figure's greedy gaze, he slammed the 4 flames together. Seeing Xiao Yan's reckless action, the black-robed figure's face twitched. "You're courting death." As soon as he finished speaking, his figure appeared before Xiao Yan. Sensing the black-robed figure's impending attack, Xiao Yan was about to use 3,000 lightning movements to dodge, but the invisible barrier suddenly shattered. At the same time, a deep voice resonated from the sky. "This is my territory. The Hall of Souls cannot run wild here." When this voice rang out, the black-robed figure's face drastically changed. "Xuankongzi?" This sudden turn of events startled Xiao Yan. He quickly glanced at the sky above, but there was no one there. However, the vast aura descending made his heart pound. Knowing he had an ally, Xiao Yan quickly dispersed the destructive flames. At the same time, Xiao Yixian and Venerable Tianhuo, finally realizing what was happening, rushed over. The state of the courtyard clearly indicated a battle had taken place, yet they hadn't noticed a thing. This kind of oversight was quite embarrassing, especially for Xiao Yixian. The black-robed figure shouted at the sky, "Xuankongzi, this fight has nothing to do with you. Why interfere? This is Holy Pill City. If I let the Hall of Souls run wild here, how can the Pill Tower maintain its authority?" He hadn't expected that even with his caution, he would still be discovered by the Pill Tower elders. Now that his actions were exposed, if he stayed any longer, the Pill Tower experts would arrive. Seeing him about to leave, Xiao Yixian unleashed a grayish chi attack, lashing out at the black-robed figure. However, it was easily blocked by a wisp of sea heart flame. With a flicker, he entered the distorted space. "Xiao Yan, I'll be back. Next time we meet, I'll take your heavenly flames and cultivation technique." Seeing the black-robed figure leave, Xiao Yan turned towards the sky and bowed. "Thank you for your help, Senior. It's only natural to look after an old friend's disciple. The information about you, including the burning sky technique, was leaked to that person by the Profound Nether sect. I can't reveal my true form, so I could only send a wisp of my soul to deter him. Come to the Pill Tower when you have time. You'll be safe there." Watching the starry figure dissipate, Xiao Yan fell into deep thought. It seems teacher has a good relationship with the people of the Pill Tower. Venerable Tianhuo then warned Xiao Yan to be more careful in the future. After all, that person's mastery of soul power was so profound that even he and Xiao Yixian were fooled. From beginning to end, Xiao Yan never saw the black-robed figure's face. But from what he said, he seemed to be an expert from Yao Chen's era. Logically, he should also be an old man. Xiao Yan then asked Xiao Yixian to find out the whereabouts of the Profound Nether sect. He had forgotten about his previous conflict with the young sect master of the Profound Nether sect. He hadn't expected them to use this opportunity to indirectly attack him. Xiao Yixian nodded slightly. Since those guys from the profound nether sect want to walk into our trap, we won't show any mercy. However, right now, what worried Xiao Yan the most was still that black-robed figure. After all, he was exposed, while the other party remained hidden. Moreover, he knew nothing about the other party's background. After pondering for a moment, Xiao Yan's eyes lit up. The Sea Heart Flame is also in that person's hands. Perhaps Han Feng knows some information about him.